We took our Porsche to our local Porsche center, and this is exactly what they found. So if you've been paying attention with our Lemon to Lambo series, you'll know that we recently picked up a Porsche Cayenne S hybrid, and we've been slowly trying to get it up to par so we can sell it and realize a really good chunk of profit. Now, we got to the limit of where our expertise and mechanical knowledge was. So unfortunately, we did have to bring the Porsche into Porsche Center Gold Coast, who were actually very lovely. Can't say anything bad about them. Their whole experience was perfect, and they really took care of us.
Even laid the red carpet out for us.
Yeah, not really, but
not really us. There was an event on, but you know.
Yeah, and just stuff like license plate frames and just like, and put it on without us asking, without it even telling us. We didn't even realize until we got home. Just little things like that really shows that you are much appreciated, even though we are going in with a budget of budget Porsches.
Yep.
So we've got the sheet here. Basically, the things that were wrong with the car. We had a hybrid fault that we didn't know what the fault was. We had the oil level warning. One time it would chop and change. Sometimes it'd be too high, sometimes it'd be too low. And then we also had a suspension fault with the chassis of the system because it's air suspension. But we thought that was just a height relearn. So those are the faults we sent in. Also the radio, unfortunately, was kind of just on a constant loop of resetting. So I've got the documentation here, and I'm glad I do because you're probably not going to believe what they found and what ended up fixing. So straight away, we were to kind of set the scene. When it comes to the budget, we're tight.
Yep.
We are very tight. So we knew that it was either going to completely max out our budget or at the very least take out a huge chunk of what remained. Because they charged, was it $265 an hour?
Yep.
To work on the car.
And the whole time we were like, fingers crossed, they don't take days and days or whatever.
Let's put it this way, if they worked on the car for the entire day, we would have blown our budget.
Yep.
Yeah. So we did take a little bit of a risk there, but thankfully we didn't go through all of our budget. Now, we'll start off with the hybrid light because that was probably the one that I was most concerned with. Pretty much, like, it's either replace the battery pack and system, which is so expensive, and or a simple fix. In our case, it was a simple fix, which was really good. So I'll just read directly off the sheet. Customer explains, yellow hybrid warning light has appeared. Please assess report findings. Confirm customer's concern. Found no power at high voltage battery fan, and no power was found at the relay. It was a relay.
Yep.
Now I went over the relays for the car, but the internal relays and the engine bay relays. Apparently when it comes to hybrid systems, they have their own separate relays. I didn't realize that, but it didn't cost us anything. They replaced the relay that operated the hybrid fans, which got rid of the hybrid warning light. So no parts, nothing like that, just labor, which, big tick. Next up, customer states oil level warning level is consistently shown. However, it will alternate from oil level too high to oil level too low. Basically, they found that it's actually a software glitch in the Porsche software on the kind of like digital cluster. So all that was required was a software update, which cleared the code. Now, unfortunately, on our drive home, it's come back.
Yes.
So I'm not too sure that maybe it's a bad sensor. Oops, someone's trying to call me. Maybe it's a bad sensor. We're not too sure at this stage. The car definitely has enough oil. Whether or not we have enough budget to try and fix the sensor is a whole other thing, but the car drives, it's got enough oil, it's fine. Someone really wants to call me. Next and final warning. Oh, they don't write it down here.
What was the last one?
Was the chassis.
Oh, yeah.
So the chassis error, it was just a height reset. So they did that for free. So that cleared all 3 errors except for the oil level error, which has come back, which is quite annoying. Now they did find a couple of things when they're on the car that they have noted as well in the report. The brake booster pressure sensor, there's something going on with the signal for that. We're missing a right sill cover. Now obviously we haven't got under the car yet, so we didn't even know. There was a slight oil leak. They did have a photo. I'll see if I can find that and give it to Morgan so he can show you. Very, very, very minor. They're very picky at Porsche. Let's put it this way, the car's been in my garage the entire time we've had it. There's still nothing on the floor. So, okay. And then there was just some looseness they couldn't pinpoint in the steering rack. But apart from that, the car was a clean bill of health, which is really good. The problem now comes is that we've got this oil level warning. It's going high or low, and we've also got that brake booster issue. Now, every now and then, that will cause the engine light to come on the dash. And we don't really want to sell that to someone knowing full well that the brake booster, for whatever reason, is not up to scratch. So, we're at the point where we've got less than $400 left.
Yeah. Actually, how much does it say how much it was?
So all up, it was $795.
So like a little over 3 hours?
Yeah, it was around about 3 hours or so. We've got $400. Now, we can go down the route of the brake booster. They were quite helpful, Porsche. They did kind of lay out how they would go about testing it. First, they would check the vacuum lines to the brake booster, make sure that there's no leak to it, and then pretty much go from there. Although from doing a lot of research online, it is common for these vacuum pumps to fail, which is not ideal. So we could go down that route. I believe a used in good condition online part for the, it's like a vacuum pump thing, is around $500-600. So we couldn't buy one that. So our only choice would be to go to a local wreckers and hope to God that they would try and sell us a brake booster vacuum pump thing for under $400. And then we blow in our whole budget.
Yep. We
can't fix then the radio, so the radio shuts on and off. Pretty much Porsche just said, look, it happens, you need to replace it. Which if you buy through Porsche,
they replaced the whole unit too.
The entire like radio, screen, navigator, all of it is in there, which is around $2.5 to $3 from the dealer. Obviously we don't have that much money. We did find a used example for $300, which perfect. It's confirmed to work and be all good. Only problem is if we buy that, we can't do the pump. If we do the pump, we can't do the radio. And yeah, so that's where it is now. So really, we have to put it through the auction.
Yeah.
So I think Morgan and I actually haven't discussed this yet, but I think what's going to happen is just because we know that the radio side of things, like it doesn't really matter. Someone's probably not going to spend the $40,000 on a Porsche if the radio constantly is turning on and off. You're not going to buy it. So really that radio has to be fixed. And by and large, the brake booster vacuum issue, whatever it is, has to also be resolved because that is a mechanical part of the car, especially the braking system. You don't want to be messing around with that shit. So we won't just put it straight into the auctions. What we'll do a little bit more digging around. If it is just like a split vacuum line and our pump is fine, well then sweet, we can spend the $400 we got left, buy the used radio for $300. Sweet, the car's all good, we can sell it second hand. If that's not the case though, then unfortunately we are going to have to put it through the auctions and probably attach this just so whoever's buying it knows exactly what they're getting into. Because the last thing we want is someone to go drive it and like the brake's fine, like I've driven the car, it still brakes, there's no problem with it. It's mainly like the start system and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where we are now. It's looking like we are going to have to put it through the auctions. Having said that, I did do a little bit of research today, which I haven't told you about. There have been quite a few Cayennes go through the auctions as of late. There was one a few months ago, I think about 4 or 5 months ago, go through the same auction place that we went through, that didn't start at all, and sold for $32,000.
Yeah.
So, it's only like a few months old, 3-4 months old. However, we are closer to Christmas, people are a bit tighter. Having said that, if we were to sell it for even $30,000, we would still make money.
Yeah.
So we did buy the car at a good price. The question to you guys is, do we review it? We're not selling it like privately. We're most likely going to be going through the auctions. Do you guys want to see a review of the Cayenne? Everything else apart from this little error to do with the brake vacuum unit is good, and the radio.
I think for the most part as well, in terms of your driving experience with the car, you don't notice the brake booster or any of those problems. The only problem that you notice is just the screen resets every now and then. So
the aircon, amazing. The heated seats, amazing. Everything about the car is great. Cosmetically, it's actually really good as well. So all in all, the car is pretty solid. It's just annoying that, unfortunately, it's this one little problem that we can't nip in the bud. Now, there is another option. Morgan still has some leftover parts from the MX-5 that he bought.
Which would probably total, selling a secondhand, maybe a few $100, a couple $100, something like that.
So, you really need to put them up for sale.
Yeah.
Because if we were able to get like even probably $200, I reckon we might be able to do it.
But then also, if we're going to sell it privately, we've actually already got the roadworthy.
Yeah.
So time is running out as well.
Yeah.
So we'd have to try and sell those parts.
But I think it's
fast.
the 28th of December it runs out, the current roadworthy on it. So you've got like, what, 14, 15 days?
Yeah. And another roadworthy is another $110, $100, something like that.
So let us know down below, what should we do? Obviously Morgan's going to be selling the parts regardless. He doesn't own an MX-5. But yeah, do we... it's hard. I think it's all going to come down to us checking on the car and seeing if there's a vacuum leak. There's a strong possibility there's not. It's quite a common problem on Cayennes for this vacuum pump to... basically the fan kind of eats itself and then blocks up the whole thing, and so you need a whole unit with a new fan and everything. So that's looking like what it's going to be. Let us know down below, what should we do? I know a few of you were thinking, oh God, guys, I don't know about this one. Don't get into these kind of cars. And for the most part, I do agree with you. Porsches, I just freaking love them though. Even one like that, that's pretty much just a Volkswagen. It's not really a Porsche, but yeah. So, but it wasn't a crazy bill. Take it a Porsche, $800, pretty much everything's fixed. We
were really kind of rolling the dice and hoping that the mechanics were, I guess, good at their job and could get through it quite quickly.
And obviously they were.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Yeah.
So yeah, let us know down below. What do we do? Do we sit on it and get Morgan to sell these parts and hopefully try and go down that route. Do we punt it through the auctions as is now? Obviously check the vacuum line. And then yeah, go from there. That's pretty much our options. Yeah. So what would you guys do? Yeah, we can't really buy another car, make a little bit of money, and then top it up with the Porsche, as much as that would be a good idea. But yeah, so that's where it is. That is what Porsche have said. I'll get Morgan to take a photo of it, obviously blank out our information, but just to see, like, we aren't bullshitting, like it literally was a fuse, it literally was software update. Just because if I had told someone that we had a Cayenne with all these problems, I would also assume like, oh, it's probably thousands of dollars to replace and fix. But yeah, so that's what it is. That's our Porsche Cayenne. Let us know what we should be doing, but I think there's probably a good chance it's going through the auctions. Which should be good because it means hopefully by the time it sells, we'd have the money to then start the new year.
Yeah. And
then maybe we do what everyone else has been telling us to do, rather than, I think Martin Jones wanting us to buy a Maserati. Everyone else has been saying stick to cheap cars, just do lots of them. So maybe we give that a go. Maybe we do another challenge and Morgan not copy whatever car I buy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But thanks heaps for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys in the next episode, which I think will probably be the review.
Yeah.
I think we'll review the car. It's roadworthy. It drives on the road. It's good. It's just probably not going to be sold privately. But anyway, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys in the next one.